नमस्कार, मैं हूं अंशुमान अमर उजाला बोनस से और हम हैं गिफ्ट सिटी में, भारत के भविष्य के शहर में, जहां भारत का वित्तीय भविष्य बन रहा है। और इस वित्तीय भविष्य को जो गढ़ रहे हैं, जो लोग इसको तैयार कर रहे हैं, उनमें सबसे अच्छी जानकारी, सबसे बेहतर जानकारी अगर हमको कोई दे सकते हैं तो संदीप शाह जी दे सकते हैं, जो कि गिफ्ट सिटी के हेड हैं और जिनकी नेतृत्व में, जिनकी अगुवाई में भारत के वित्तीय भविष्य की बुनियाद तैयार हो रही है। एएफएम की इस विशेष कॉन्फ्रेंस में अभी हमने उनका संबोधन सुना, ऊर्जावान संबोधन था, कई तरीके के प्रोत्साहन थे। और अब हम उनसे कुछ और गहराई से डिटेल्स में बात करेंगे, जिससे कि हमें पता चल सके कि गिफ्ट सिटी भारत के भविष्य की दिशा कैसे तय कर रहा है। My first question will be is about that. Gift City has climbed on the global financial index very rapidly, very quickly. So, how are you leveraging this momentum post budget 2025? Because this has given a lot of boost to the Gift City, which has not been reported that way in the global media. So, how you are leveraging this momentum?
So, what is important for India to kind of develop the International Financial Services Center is to look at what's happening globally in terms of the global financial centers. And as I mentioned in my address as well, there are three critical factors: competitive tax regime, regulations, as well as the dispute resolution mechanism. Now, financial market is evolving journey. Probably today there is X product permitted, tomorrow it can be Y and Z, because it's depending on the requirements and global nature. The new products and new services are being introduced in the IFSC as well. And I think Government of India is taking right kind of steps to ensure that our own International Financial Center also matches the global standards. And that's where the right kind of taxation regime has been provided again in the union budget. And that is playing very important role to ensure that India emerges as one of the leading financial centers. And from a stage where the GIFT IFSC was ranked at 78 or 80, probably we are today among the top 50 global financial center. And journey has just started. So we feel that India has a huge role to play in terms of achieving the milestone to become one of the leading global financial centers.
Sir, how swift the Indian regulatory system, because you are dealing with multiple regulators, RBI, SEBI and Finance Ministry, how swift the regulatory system in India in changing the requirement, and especially in the competition with the other financial centers, because this investment flow, everyone is putting a magnet to attract it. So how swift is that, and how swift the coordination between the regulators, four top regulators?
Yeah. So I think very interestingly and importantly, Government of India has set up now the unified regulator in the city, which has power of RBI, SEBI, IRD and PFRDA. So probably from a financial institutions perspective, they only need to deal with single regulator.
Okay.
And last year they also introduced single window portal, which means you make an application, you don't need to interact with multiple regulators, and the approval will be provided through the single window application. So I think that is providing a very different experience to the global investors, because they are used to that kind of approach. And the RBI, SEBI, whenever the gift institutions are interacting with India, their regulations have also been quite user friendly, and the investors are actually experiencing a very different zone which they've never experienced. So I think from mere of 50-60 financial institutions 10 years back, today we are talking of 700 plus financial institutions operating in Gift City. That itself shows the confidence of the financial institutions.
So this is substantial change after unified regulator. After that, any data you would like to quote here, that after the bringing a unified regulator, how things have changed in Gift City?
Yeah, because if you look at 2015 to 19, only 3 sets of activities were permitted: banking, insurance, and the capital markets. However, India's potential for many new age financial services activities were huge in terms of, say, aircraft leasing, ship leasing, sport bullion exchange. So some of these activities were not regulated in India, and that's where probably it was very difficult for many such players to kind of operate some of those businesses. Post unified regulator, I think we could bring out those new financial products and services in the zone. And today, the Air India is actually leasing their aircraft
from there,
which we never experienced in past. So I think these new age financial service activities have paved way for many new activities, and that is how you are seeing a new trend of financial activities happening in the zone.
So how diversified right now the Gift City is in terms of the product services, if you want to mention?
So probably today, the Gift City IFSC zone specifically is catering to the two types of major activities. One is core financial services activities where treasury operations,
Yeah,
fund management
fund
activities, issuance of dollar-denominated insurance policies. So those kind of core financial services activities are happening. The access to the global markets. So I think those players are also becoming part of it. So from core financial service activities to supporting those financial service activities, I think that has created a very vibrant ecosystem.
Before I come to the cross-border investors, there's another important point in the Gift City is the T. Finance plus T. How much tech has evolved in Gift City, and what kind of development you would like to underline in last 1 year that because the fintech sector is evolving in India, there are a lot of regulation changes taking place at the RBI level and the SEBI level. How Gift City and IFSC is positioned itself?
So there are two aspects to it. One, the fintech companies are creating such an innovative solutions where sometimes they need to deal with, say, banking regulator or sometimes with the capital market regulator because their products are very dynamic.
As a kind of sandbox regulations.
Sandbox regulation, right? So the GIFT provides a dedicated fintech framework where, whether it is a wealth advisory or a robo advisory, I think you can, through a single window or a unified regulatory approach, whether it is a banking or insurance product, you can set up a sandbox. Even if you are into a nascent stage, we'll provide you the sandbox under which you can experiment with your product, and then eventually you can launch it. Within the framework, fintech framework, we also permit tech-fin companies. So tech-fin companies are generally which are more like B2B. They don't serve directly to the customers, but they serve to the financial institutions. So if you are providing technology solutions to the banks or insurance companies, still you can operate here and obtain license under the fintech framework.
So that's a very robust tech framework is coming up.
Is already there, and we have seen companies are operating today in that domain.
Now coming to the core business, which the Gift City is about the cross-border investing. So how with this changes of the unified regulatory authority and fintech revolution, how Gift City is simplifying cross-border investor onboarding, particularly the NRIs who are looking for the AIF and PMS, which is coming up in a big way post mutual fund revolution. And can we expect some UPI like breakthrough in the fund success in coming years, coming months, I'll say?
Yeah. So probably, when we say NRIs, I think many of these NRIs were also second generation, third generation.
Yeah.
You would experience that they don't have any direct connect in India in terms of having income tax ID or having any sort of a financial services relationship with the country. And that is why many times they are more comfortable in terms of dealing in foreign currency, where there is ease of compliance and ease of doing business. That's where I think Gift City is playing a very important role, where many of these NRI investors are now allowed to invest into the Gift City related fund structures or the PMS. And the beauty of that investment is they don't need to obtain PAN in India, they don't need to file income tax in India. So which is creating a very ease of investing through the Gift City. Second important change which Government of India did and which was also the ask of many investors. Generally FPI is coming from global jurisdictions. They can't bring more than 49% of the NRI money. But today a fund set up in Gift City can raise money from the NRI investors, and they can invest 100% NRI money using FPI route in India.
No.
So probably many young fund managers today in India who generally have access to the only NRI community and not the other foreign investors, it has become very easy for them to now create a structure here, raise money from NRI investors and then invest back in India. So I think some of these regulatory ease and taxation and compliance is playing very important role to attract the NRI money to the country.
What about global fund managers? How successful you have been in last 1 year to bringing the top-notch fund managers to here, especially after the recent changes into the FPI regulations and participatory note regulation changes. How much Gift City has succeeded into bringing
No,
them?
I think now the Indian and global fund managers have realized that if the objective is to invest in India, it's better to create structure within India. And I think Gift IFSC provides the perfect solutions not only for Indian fund managers but also for the global fund managers. And because of the various reasons, including the regulatory and tax related aspects, Morgan Stanley kind of funds they have created structure here and they are investing back in India. The last budget actually now paved way for many other
Yeah,
fund
many
managers
yes,
as
yeah.
well.
That's what I'm asking.
The Section 9A conditions
Yes.
have been relaxed basically,
Yeah.
where you will find now many global fund managers setting up in Gift City who will manage the global funds as well.
Yeah.
Right. So the story is now not only inbound but also outbound as well from
Yeah.
Gift City.
So, how many funds managers you think that will be coming after the Section 9 change? Because that has been quite exciting among the fund managers. When I was talking to fund managers in Mumbai, they are quite.
No, absolutely. I think there are, if you ask me today, there are 200 plus funds which have been registered within the ecosystem.
Okay.
And I think we expect this number to double in next 2 to 3 years. So there is a great excitement and we are seeing a good amount of interest both from Indian fund managers and global fund managers to set up in Gift City.
Uh, the product innovation, which was actually lacking into the onshore offshore area in India, and that is what the Mumbai BFSI industry is generally struggling with, because they've got a simple set of clients to service. How do you see the product innovation shaping up in the Gift City, and do you think that it finally trickle down to the mainland market and improve their products also?
Yeah, I think if you look at the gift fund regulations, it has been benchmarked with what is happening globally. Today, in Gift City, fund manager entity is licensed and regulated.
Yeah.
Unlike in India, where fund is generally licensed.
Yes.
And once you are licensed as fund manager entity, you can actually create different schemes and different trusts. There was also a budget announcement, and for which the work is going on in a very advanced stage to create a VCC structure for Gift City.
Yes.
So I think the innovation in terms of the structures and products are happening on a very regular basis. The good part is the regulations also permit creating a sandbox fund regime as well.
Yes. Okay.
So not only fintech but even a fund manager who has a unique strategy, they can actually operate within the sandbox regime of the FME regulations, and then they can be a part of it. So I think we encourage innovations and structures which have never been done in India, and that's where Gift City provides the innovative platform to create those unique structures.
Sandeep, India has seeing a new wave of family offices. It's a complete new revolution in last 5 years. How successfully you see the family offices coming to the Gift City from the mainland to here, and what are the regulatory hurdles you see that they're there for them?
The fund management entity regulations in Gift City actually allows family offices to set up and create a structure. The global family offices or the NRI family offices, I think for them it's a clear way where they can set up a family office fund and invest back in India. So that is something which can be done even today. More from an Indian family offices perspective, I think there is probably detailed understanding and the clarity required in terms of how the fund will move from India to Gift City. Because today the Indian family offices have not been permitted to look at overseas investments.
Yes.
Couple of them have been permitted, but only through approval route mechanism.
Yeah.
So I think the deliberations are going on in terms of how do we permit Indian family offices to use Gift City structure and invest.
That's the reason Indian family offices have started putting their offshore family offices like Singapore, Dubai, and London, and then they are investing in the global market there. So probably the Gift City could be a very good channel channel for bringing that fund via Gift City to that, and that is where there's a discussion going on.
Yeah, probably. I think that is the also idea of permitting family offices from Gift City. But I think we also need to look at India's the monetary policy from a monetary policy perspective and the currency movement perspective in terms of how flexible we should be in terms of allowing investors to invest overseas. But there are two important routes which have already been permitted. One is the liberalized remittance scheme, which can easily be investing through Gift City in the international market. And second route, which is not largely known, is the OPI route, overseas portfolio investment, which is permitted under the RBI's ODI regulation. Okay. So companies in India can also use OPI route and invest in Gift City for the global investments.
How do you rate Gift City in the comparison with the DIFC Dubai and Singapore, Hong Kong in terms of the openness and the ease right now, and what is left to be done?
I think I personally feel that we are very uniquely placed. Today, if you look at say Dubai or Singapore, their hinterland demand may not be as high as India.
Yeah.
India's own requirement for such financial services activities are quite huge.
Yes.
So even if we serve those requirements, I think we will still become one of the leading financial
in terms of the fund size of the
in terms of banking need or insurance need or even a fund management, capital market activities. So I think we are a very large economy to serve for the global financial services requirement, and that's where GIFT IFSC is uniquely positioned because we have, apart from regulatory and tax benefits, time zone advantage also plays a very important role. Coordination between Indian customers and with the GIFT institution, that is also very easy compared to dealing from other financial centers. So I think that is playing very important role, and that's how you see in last 4 to 5 years the growth has been tremendous and people have started realizing the benefit.
So has it substantially reduced the importance of Mauritius, or still you think that the Mauritius is an important destination for bringing funds to India?
I think the people, largely the Indian fund managers were going abroad because it was easy to raise dollar money and access the global investors because India did not have the international financial centers.
Yes, sir.
But say if you ask an Indian fund manager whose core objective is to invest only in India, but we're creating structures only because of the regulatory and tax reasons, I feel it has now stopped, and they are considering Gift City as a place to raise money where the core objective is to do business in India.
Yeah.
So there is no reason to kind of go abroad and set up structures.
There's a last question. There's always a discussion among the fund managers when I meet here in the Gift City and Mumbai that how future-proof the Gift City in terms of political change and policy changes. How do you foresee it?
Yeah. So basically, the regulations in Gift City are driven by the independent regulator, unified regulator. So it is not driven through any circular or a simple framework. It is actually gazetted, framework notification under which the regulations are provided. Second, the regulator is set up under the Parliamentary Act. IFSC Authority Act 2019 provides the direction for dealing in various financial products and services. So it is hard coded in the regulations basically. And similarly, under the Income Tax Act also, I think all the provisions have been provided and well drafted.
At this time, the Budget 25 has done a lot of great things with the Gift City.
So I think it is not a state project. Basically, it's India's project.
Yeah,
so probably it is always wise for everyone to see how do we develop India's own financial center efficiently, so that we can actually bring back our own financial services business to Indian shore, basically.
Thank you, Sandeep.
Thank you.
Great meeting with you and a great discussion. संदीप जी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए और विस्तार से गिफ्ट सिटी के बारे में बताने के लिए, हमारे सवालों का जवाब देने के लिए बहुत बहुत आभार।
थैंक यू।